Hey girl, hey.
What's up, man?
What it do, y'all?
We are the Fab Five, and this is the Pretty Vocal Podcast.
The Pretty Vocal Podcast is a safe space created for us as Black women to voice our innermost thoughts and feelings about topics most people discuss in private because they are afraid to discuss it in public.
In this space, we dig deep, we keep it cute, but we never put it on mute.
Let's get pretty vocal.
Welcome back to today's episode of the Pretty Vocal Podcast. Of course.
Hello.
Okay, on the ones and twos, as always.
DJ Maybe.
Oh, hey. I gotta add you.
Please do. Anyways, we're gonna start the episode, of course, with the loose lip, and I'll pick the second one. Let's see. When blocking people, are parents off limits?
No. In my Bugs Bunny meme.
I have never blocked my mom.
No.
I have never blocked my mom.
But has she given you a reason to?
No, I won't say block. Send a voicemail a little bit, but not really.
Not blocked her?
Mm-mm.
I
Okay, you haven't
big
had a reason
blocked Betty. Okay, Triple B. Big blocked Betty because she was out of control. Out of pocket.
I don't remember if I definitely had a reason to. I was just screening calls. I don't remember if I did, but the answer for me is no. If I feel like I need to, I absolutely will.
That's my answer too. I don't think that I have ever blocked my mama. I've blocked my sister, but I don't think that I've ever blocked my mama. But I will scream. No.
Yeah.
Now I screen. I don't take it that far, but it's been 2 times I know for sure that I did. And the one particular time is when I was pregnant. And I was like, you're not going to stress me out. I'm already emotional. I'm already going through what I'm going through with this pregnancy itself. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I absolutely blocked her and didn't think twice about it. And then the second time is when she just didn't listen to something that I said and when it pertains to my child, I'm like, no, we ain't gonna do that either because I'm the mama. So
Yeah.
I think my mama is like me though. Like when we're at odds, ain't neither one of us calling. So you ain't really I ain't gotta screen, block, none of that because you ain't calling me.
Right.
We waiting on somebody to give up and then throw in the towel, and then that's when we call them, which isn't good. But
yeah, I think my mom now,
Same.
she knows her child now. I feel like she knows my energy. So now she won't call. But prior to, she would feel that.
How they don't know us till we get in our 30s.
Right. But
but she show them our true self though.
But she, personally, she could have got to know me prior to. But anyway, it was situations where I feel like she felt the energy where she knew she was wrong and she knew I was pissed off, so she would try to reach out, and I'm like, girl, stop, because you ain't doing nothing but adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Stop
That
it,
makes
please. But I feel like now it's more screening calls. Like we were on the phone the other day, she called me, I said, not
I don't
today.
got it
Be
in.
tired.
Not
Like
today.
you just gotta have the. And
It's
it's
a
not even nothing
boundary.
got to be wrong. Sometimes I'll just be like, ooh, I don't have time for you today.
Yeah.
Like,
And because
or in
we
this
are
moment.
But because we are so much alike, we know when our talking hours are too. So now I don't even really have to scream because we know when I was going into work, like that commute, that's when I want to talk. When I get home, I'm tired. I don't want to talk no more. And she's the same way now. So I know 5:30, 6:30 in my block. If I don't call her before then, I got to call her tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's me, but my mama ain't got
She don't
my
respect you.
boundaries don't get respected in that, right? So I just don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
real.
I was like,
Gotta
you
do
know,
what you
because I
gotta do.
can't get her off the phone. If it was easy for me to be like, oh, okay, cool. But I'll say, well, I'm gonna let you go. Well, okay, but how about? And then it's a whole nother conversation. So
That's
I
nice.
just don't answer because I can't spend an hour and a half getting off the phone.
Yeah.
How old is your mom?
She's 55.
How old is your mom?
63.
Okay. Yeah, my mama don't want to talk.
Well, that's
Yeah,
my
mama
grandma
don't
though.
wanna talk.
But that's my grandma though. She'll be like, I'm gonna let you go, and she'll just keep the conversation going. But her and my childhood best friend are the only 2 people that I never not answer the phone for.
Yeah.
Because I know if one of them is calling me, one is just a check in or it's something important. But my grandma, I'm never not gonna answer her call. Like I might miss it, and then I'm calling her back because I'm never not missing her.
Yeah,
call.
that's my
Like,
brother
I
for me,
can't.
and that little boy can talk. Like he gets it from his mother. Like he can talk, but I can't not answer his phone calls. Like that's just how I am about him. But
Speaking of talking,
Oh, I don't mean to cut you off, and because she might be like Lolo and listening. And now that Carson has a phone, I don't not answer her calls either.
please put that in there. Please. Yeah, you know, ever since I shouted her out, she don't even listen no more.
oh, that's all she was
That's all
waiting
she was
for.
waiting for.
I did have a flower girl though, but now all the other ones mad.
No,
so.
right? Because you didn't bring them up.
I said, you know what? No more.
Okay.
But speaking of talking and just having conversations, I wanted to discuss today's topic as code switching. What is code switching, and why do we feel that we need to do that, or do we feel like we do that at all?
Oh yeah, for sure. Code switch.
And for me, the only issue that I have with people and saying code switch is when people say, "Oh, you sound white."
But who says that? Black people.
Black people. Black people. And it's like,
white people say it with a little bit more finesse, but they say
You sound educated.
yeah, well, you're so articulate.
yeah.
But black people will tell you sound white.
Or
And
if they
I'm
only
like,
talk to you on the phone
why?
and then they see you in person, they say, hello, hello, how are you?
I feel like
I have a professional voice.
I
That's
have a
what call it.
professional voice too, because my mom had a professional voice. She
Right.
could be cussing us out. That phone ring. Hi, this is Starvis.
That
Yes.
was my mama for sure.
Yes.
For sure. She would literally be talking so bad to me, and then she'll call whatever bill company she called to talk to customer service. She's sweet, and then they piss on her code switch in the phone call. I'm like, okay then.
Betty.
Master of disguise. So what is happening here?
Master of disguise.
I think it's relevant though.
Yeah.
I because of the world that we live in, I think that there are plenty of opportunities for me, I know, that I probably wouldn't have had if I walked in as North Memphis Tay-Tay.
Yeah, right.
Not North
Absolutely.
Memphis Tay-Tay.
Or Memphis
Yeah.
Tay-Tay.
I don't even think it's the world that we grew up in. I think it's the one our parents grew up in.
I think it's the world we live in.
And it's just
Correct.
created this world for us,
Yeah.
right? Like they did things back in the day. Not even our parents, our grandparents, did things back in the day to be seen as acceptable to white people, right? So if we got a code switch, if I got to sound a certain way, dress a certain way, do a certain thing, and it's just been taught for generation after generation. Don't go outside looking like this. Don't dress like that.
But why?
You know.
But why? Why did they? I think that it's a bigger picture because I think they did that because they weren't welcomed in certain spaces.
Right.
They had
So
to conform.
So absolutely. So that was already the foundation,
Right.
and they just tried to fit into it. The same thing that we do today.
Yeah. I think now it's more second nature. Like I'm not intentionally being like, oh, I'm talking
Absolutely.
to this person, I got to switch my voice. It's just second nature. Like you don't even think about it anymore.
No.
You do not think to answer the phone, or you know what type of, even now when I know I'm calling a black patient, I make sure they know
That I'm black.
that I'm black.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say next. Like, do you have a voice where it's like more professional if it's someone outside of your race,
It's still professional,
or like?
but they can tell I'm black.
Because I feel like
I just drop it down the time.
that's what I was getting ready to say. I feel like it's like it drops. It's not like I'm using any slang.
Right.
I'm not, and because honey, the others be cussing at work, and I'm like, I could never do that. You know,
Can't do it.
and it's like, oh
But
my
that's
God.
because we already feel and know that they're holding us at a higher standard. We have to
Yeah.
always be exceptional
Absolutely.
next to white people because
Or
that's just how it is.
ooh, and all the others.
That's
true. That's
because
true.
living
Yeah.
in Texas, y'all, I experienced in Nashville where it was like I felt this like superiority coming from white people. Like they felt like that they were better,
Right.
and we were beneath them. But here, y'all, it's the Latinx community for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
really,
Like they feel like they. I mean,
but
they,
you know, I work. From
Baby,
home,
they the
so I
new
don't
white
have
people.
to-
In my opinion, when I first moved here, I had 3 jobs. One of my part-time jobs was at White House Black Market. Those Hispanic ladies would come up in there, baby, like El Chapo was their man. Like, baby, I'm dropping racks in here. You can't talk to me. And it was just like,
I don't know if we were all like when I first moved here, I was working for a school system and my manager was a Latina lady and she had changed her name to seem more white. Not changed it, but she went by a name that was more Americanized. And she would always mispronounce my name. And I don't my mama raised me, you correct them. I don't care how many times you have to correct them, you correct them because if you just listen to me, my name is not hard to pronounce.
Right.
If you look at my name
It's
and
not
spell it correctly, it's not hard to pronounce. But this lady told me that when I corrected her, she told me that I was being insubordinate and I wasn't being understanding of the fact that she has an accent, and that's the reason why she could not pronounce my name correctly. What? what? Oh, I became her boss, by the way. Before I left that job, I became her boss, so she had to learn how to say my name. But hey, that's neither here
It's
nor
not
there.
hard anymore, is it?
That's neither here nor there. You can just call
Seems
me
to
Mrs.
roll off
Price.
the tongue all of a sudden.
Right. That
Right.
sounds like the Karen tears for me.
Yes.
That was an excuse.
Absolutely.
Like you're using your accent as a cop out. No, ma'am, you can say my name. Actually, I have an accent in my name, so you should be able to pronounce my
telling
name
you,
flawlessly.
When I tell you, they pronounce my name perfectly. They look right at it and they say it perfectly. You were,
Being a butthole.
yeah.
yeah.
That's just,
And I have the easiest name to
Yes.
pronounce.
You do, Brittany.
But it's the spelling for me sometimes when it's like
they
in
make
an
it
email.
ethnic.
That's not even that. They just you're ignoring the fact that my name is spelled in my email signature and you spell it with the N-E-Y
yeah.
or I. And even further, I work with a social worker. She's black. Her name is Brandy. I cannot tell you how many times she has been called Brittany. I've been called Brandy.
Because y'all look alike.
Because y'all,
Not at all. Of
No.
course.
no, we know.
Of course we don't.
Oh yeah, I get the Jessica Jasmine trade off all the time. When I used to work with my god sister Jasmine, they would come up to the department, look me dead in my face with my name tag on, and at the time it fully said Jessica, not Jess, but it fully said Jessica, and they would literally say, "Hey Jasmine, can you who? Because Jasmine not here today." It's
And
me.
it's
my
you not being
issue-
intentional of trying to know that I'm not Brandy, right?
Yeah.
I'm a nurse. She a social worker. We got 2 different titles, 2 different jobs. You don't even call us for the same thing,
Right. My thing
but you
is,
calling me Brandy.
They don't
my
feel they have
name,
to.
They don't feel like they have to.
they feel like my name is, so if I go into a doctor's office, they automatically look for a white woman. So because my name is Mary Midget, but they see Mary Midget. And so as soon as I
Don't
stand
start
up, don't. You're going to get kicked out the seat. Because as soon as they say, and you know, I correct them midget, like baguette, midget. And but as soon as I stand up, they're looking past me.
They looking for a white
And
woman.
because they're looking for a white
Well, they always looking for a black girl when they see my name. And I see them say, Price? Like,
nah,
perfect.
now.
Right. Just say that. But yeah, it's like, you know, like you said, it's the world that we live in. We have to conform. And I think that's also why, you know, we feel like there are a lot of entrepreneurs because they don't want to have to conform or fit in and blah, blah, blah. But
I feel like even
That's
in
the one
those
time you
spaces-
shouldn't have to.
But
that's what I'm
still
saying.
feel like
That's
even
why
in
I feel
those
like
spaces
they're
they
doing
do.
it.
I-
But
yeah, I
then
would say
they
I still
find
feel like they
out
still-
that you
they
still
do
have to do it to a degree.
who they're trying to sell to, because like if they have a particular audience and then they want to expand, they start changing a little bit. I'm not gonna say like changing who they are, but they code switch. I've noticed it a lot from, let's just say my particular business, I sell candles, and let's say my base was the 30-year-old black woman, and that's who I talk to, that's who I communicate with, that's who I connect to, and I speak how I speak. But then it's like now I'm trying to branch out because I want more customers, and let's say I'm working at one of the farmers markets and it's a bunch of, you know, white people that are out there. I code switch, and it's not on purpose. It just comes naturally to me.
You for sure gonna
To-
give them a pumpkin scent.
Okay.
For sure. I'm going to give them pumpkin spice and everything nice, okay? Because
That's what they
I
want.
literally
you
was
got
on,
your
I had to,
audience.
Yeah.
That's the audience.
right, I answered a call the other day. Like, I was on the phone, and then a call came through for work for someone, and on the phone, I could tell it was a white person by the tone of their voice, like, specifically. I was just talking, like, regular to me, and I got off the phone, and the person said, "You sound so nice on the phone." I said, "I am nice. What are you saying?" I was like, "No, you're, like, nice and professional nice." I was like,
at
"Ow."
least they said professional because me and Hunter share an office when he works at home, and I'll be on a call and I'll get off the call. He's like, "That's not your voice." I'm like, "That's my professional voice." I mean,
Yeah.
do you want me to talk to them the way I talk to you? And he,
Like
I
that.
said, like that, because I'm trying to keep my job. I'm not trying to. But then sometimes I am more relaxed. And he's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like it's somebody that's my equal, and they might be white, but." I'm like, well, you should hear what they're saying on the phone. My tone is different,
Yeah.
but the words I use
Are
are
the
still professional.
That's what I was gonna say
You
when
know
y'all
what
brought
I
up where you brought up your patients. Like if you know it's a black patient, like for me, I have certain claimants that'll call and I know that they're black, and they'll be like, you know, Miss Jessica, da 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 da, and they'll be talking to me like that. And I have to catch myself sometimes because I'll just be myself and don't even be bothered.
No, I will.
But I'll start talking to them. I'm like, yeah, because don't worry about it. But I done told you. Like I'll throw one of them in there. I'm like, I done told told you
It's
this is what you
different for
gotta
me
do.
because-
But my supervisor is white, and I talk to her just like I'm talking to y'all, but with no cursing. But she knows who I am. But when it's time in a group setting, I'm more calm.
That's because you built a relationship with her.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
that is.
I think for my patients, it's different for me knowing that they're black on the phone. I will talk to them. And obviously, I'm not going to be unprofessional, but I will kiki and talk to them like that because in medicine, they feel more comfortable that way, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm okay. I don't need to be professional. I will be professional, but I don't need to have my little code switch voice on with you because you feel better knowing like, okay, this is a sister on the phone. Cool. She taking that. I've seen a patient in person, and one of the doctors that I work with is black. And so she came in, and I came in after. He was like, man, I am loving seeing this today. Like, you could just tell his whole day was better. Just having like, the medical assistant came in before the doctor was black. The doctor came in, she was black. I came in after, I was black. So I, on the phone at work, like, I'm cool. I will relax with my black patients because they feel better. They're scared to go to the doctor. Yeah, they're scared to go to the doctor.
I was literally just about to say that we seek that. We just had a whole conversation recommending black physicians, like all of that within our group. So I know that that's something that if we're seeking that out, that there are other black people that are seeking that out, and it does allow us to feel more comfortable in the space.
I'm gonna be real with you.
I got on a session the other day with one of my clients, and she was taking out her braids. She had a ponytail over here, she had chopped peas over here, and she was taking out her braids. And I said, when I opened up the session, I just bust out, started laughing. And she said, this is why I'm glad that I have a black therapist, because somebody else would have been looking me upside my head. And I'm like, you are absolutely right. That's your house. Like, exactly. We're doing a virtual session. So that comfort thing is really big. And for me, I think that, and I'll shift into, what Tay got to say, since we have already kind of touched on it a little bit, but I think that it is absolutely why people go into being entrepreneurs a lot, because we're tired. Like, we're tired of having to be something in a space where, honestly, we'll never be accepted like other people are accepted.
Right.
So that's what led me to start my own business so that I can be my authentic self for the clients that I'm wanting to bring in, black, brown, clients that I'm wanting to bring in. I have clients that are not minorities or people of color, and I treat them with the same amount of care and respect, but it is just different talking to somebody with the same lived experiences as you, because you feel like you can really be your authentic self. So I agree that it is the reason why people go and become entrepreneurs, but I still got to flex and bend. So when I get a client that don't look like me,
that's what I was getting ready to say.
I still have to, and I don't even think that it's changing my approach, but more so talking about things that they can relate to, because I'm versatile. So I have those experiences. I lived in Middle Tennessee, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for 10 years. So I have learned things that I didn't learn on the west side in West Tennessee. So I utilize those things in conversation, music preferences. I know some country songs. We relate in that way because the basis of all I do is relationships. Like, I got to build a relationship so that they feel comfortable with me. I feel comfortable with them. So when it's time for me to call you out on your shit, I can do that.
Yeah, and I think as black people in general, we think, oh, well, we don't need to know anything about any other race.
I don't feel that way.
Not y'all, but if y'all look on social media, and I won't say anything, but it's like, oh, well, I'm me, and what their music is, I can't get with that, or I can't get with how they live, and that's just not how you can progress. Like, if you want to be in business, any business, work for yourself, work for a company, work for a hospital, work for yourself, like, you have to be able to have some type of relation to somebody other than your own.
That's important.
And all black people ain't even the same. Like, there are black country artists, so I don't want for us to like
listen to rap music.
Exactly. And I get mad when I walk into a restaurant, a store, or anything, and their music changes, and I'm like, how you know I like that?
Right.
Exactly.
I might not even be rah-rah today. That was me yesterday.
And I hate that, I feel like, I can't say all black people, but I feel like most black people have, it's like innate. It's already in there. As soon as the music come on, your body does something. Like, first of all, no, I didn't want you to do that, because why would you change this?
But I don't even think that I'm not enjoying it. It's what about me, besides the color of my skin, made you believe that
That's what I
related
mean.
to
And I
this.
feel like it's like embedded in us. Like it's a natural reaction. As soon as something with some rhythm comes on, our body does something. I'm like, damn, no, that is not what I want to do.
But
Because
think
first of all, I'm
That's
mad.
crazy because I don't move no
Right, I
more.
mean,
I'm
you know,
immediately
I don't.
offended.
I immediately get
I am
Now,
mad.
yes,
I'm
but
not
I
offended.
feel
I
like
just
in the
feel
back of my
like,
head, yeah, for sure.
But think about when you get into an Uber or a Lyft. They do the same thing. They be in there listening to
I'd
what
rather
they
you ask
want,
me.
and then as soon as it comes on, here they go switching the route.
Yep.
Except
and
this
ask
last
me.
one that we were in, I don't know if y'all ever noticed. I really don't talk in Ubers, but for that reason, because they typically do that, and I'm not very vocal in the car. I just sit there because
I think since
absolutely
Uber and
don't.
Lyft have become more of a thing, I think they have heard those conversations too. Because
Well,
in
it
more
ain't got
recent
this
times,
far.
I haven't gotten that. They have
haven't gotten
before,
it
but
either.
it's been a really long time since they've gotten in and switched the music. They'll either ask or they'll continue playing what they were
They want to
playing,
play. Yeah.
and that's fine. Half the time
And
I
I
don't
know
want to
that
talk.
too. I'm going to sing that too.
Right. And sometimes I do it on purpose. I like hum or sing the song that they listen to. Like, yep, I know this. So you didn't have to change your music.
But if you listen
like,
and Lyft Uber drivers, I like indie. So just play me
Not
some
indie.
of that.
I think it's important in all jobs. For us, I think working with people in more of a healthcare setting, I think we think of it as holistically, right? We're taught how to treat people of other races and different signs to look for it from other races. But I think it's important no matter what you do. Like, we are holistic people. It's mind, body, and spirit. You have to know everything about a person to be able to befriend them, treat them, talk to them, sell them something. I think that's important. I don't think we need to only focus on our community and our group of people.
That compliment I shouted out that I posted yesterday from work, that was one of my black claimants. I knew exactly who it was because it doesn't show us. But my supervisor, I said, was it this person? She said, yeah, how'd you know?
Because we look out for us.
Yeah, I knew it was her because, baby, I was exceptional.
And I've
Thank
had to
you.
be professionally stern in my line of work.
Oh, yeah, I had to do that
It's
yesterday.
hard,
Twice.
especially when I was at the bedside. Like, I've had patients call me out my name, hit me, strike me. Like, you have to be, I'm like, all right, now look, we're not doing this,
Come on
right?
now.
Like, we're not doing this. I'm here to help you.
Right.
I can remove myself from this situation.
Absolutely. Hello.
But you are not going to touch me and you're not going to talk to me any kind of way. And I've had to say that to patients before. And I do not care because we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Some of them are not in their right mind. I get that. But those that are, and every single time I've got an apology. Because I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
That'd be the
As
thing
for-
for me. I get apologies afterwards, and I'm working on it. And I say it to myself, or I might say it to my supervisor. But the people, they'll always come back and apologize. And I'm like, first of all, I don't want to hear this shit because no, you shouldn't talk to me
You
like
knew
that.
you were wrong in the first
But
place.
no, I literally just yesterday, and this is one of my black claimants, and I've had him for a minute now. And I told him, I was like, hey, I can't issue you another payment until I get what I need. You need to send me this paperwork. He come emailing me and was like, well, I did this and I did this and I don't know what you want from me, and you can call this person and you can do this. I said, I cannot. And I said in a very nice and professional but stern way, I said, we've had this conversation before. I need the same documents that I asked you before when I stopped your payments. And I've said this, and I need to do this, and this is a partnership. You have to help me help you, because if I do this, what you're asking me to do for all of my claimants, I'll never get anything done to help you at all.
The
So
many
no.
times I've used that phrase, help me help you.
Absolutely.
Child.
Because what are you doing?
For somebody like I work from home, so in my company, actually, my line manager, when I'm on my meetings, nobody requires me to turn on my camera unless maybe during an interview, which that's rare too. So I have my picture up there, so I'm a little black girl. I don't even, however you pronounce my name, so that you know that whatever you may have seen on TV, whatever you may have thought about black people being unprofessional, know that that's not true. Because sometimes, like, it's a lot of people that I interact with at work. I don't know if they black, blue, green, or yellow.
I hope not.
Listen, I work in liver transplant. If they are yellow, send them to me.
Very jaundiced.
Right
Jaundiced.
away. Right away.
So I'm like, I'm not going to hide who I am just because I think, okay, well, my name alone, they might think I'm white. No, I want you to know me. I want you to know the person you're talking to. I want you to know that I'm professional and can be professional, and I know how to do my job. Now, I do know people that are like, well, no, I'm not going to put it on there because I don't want them to know. Why not?
I feel that way. Even when we were just naming my niece, Like I want, and I feel like we have moved to that as a generation, like millennials. I feel if you look at the names that we're giving our children, they are names that could pass. And I feel like that is, for me, I know with a name like Artasia, they know that I'm ethnic. They may not know that I'm black, but they know that I'm not white. And I don't really want for my children to experience that. I want for them to walk in the door. I want, before they get in the door and they submit a resume, I want for them to have the same opportunity that everybody else have. And now you go in and you sell them on this little black girl or this little black boy. But I want the world that we live in. I know that certain resumes get pushed to the side.
Yeah, like with Carson's name, like it was a stretch putting the Y in there for me. But I've noticed that a lot of white people nowadays change the spellings and add Y's and I's and stuff where they shouldn't. So I was like, you know what?
Where they shouldn't.
So I put it there because, one, I also wanted them to know it was feminine. I wanted them to know it was a girl. It didn't really help. But anyway, that's not the point. For her birthday, this past birthday, I went to go pick up her cake. And I wouldn't have had this experience had somebody made her cake.
What was that?
But anyway, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
I was not here.
So I had to go actually get her a cake made. And when I went to go get it, and I was telling him how to spell her name because I was like, Carson. And he was like, C-A-R. I said, Y-N. He was like, S-O-Y-N. I said, no, there's a Y instead of an O. And he was like, what y'all be doing with these kids now these days? I said, so what's wrong with her name?
Who's y'all?
He's black, so that's what
sir, who's y'all?
I didn't jump on him for that because I knew what he meant as far as the younger generation because he was older. So when he said, y'all doing this, I said, what's wrong with her name? It says Carson. It spells Carson. It sounds like Carson. It's not La Carson.
And if it was?
And if it was, I'm just saying, but like it's not, anything outlandish. Like I'm really trying to figure out what's your angle here.
As soon as he would have said what y'all doing to these kids' names, the same thing I'm finna do to you.
Because I'm about to get this cake for free because we're your manager.
That part.
Oh, I did. Okay. Because I had to call. I left because I had something to do. So I called. So I had to call because I had to get back to work because I was on the clock. I went back to work. And so I called the manager and I said, yeah, so whoever's working over in the bakery at this particular store. And I was like, oh, well, just don't worry about it. Come in and pick up a cake. That's what I plan to do. Thank you.
Yeah, because I don't like that. I don't even like it from us. But I do feel we have moved to.
Comes from us a lot more these days.
We have moved to that with our
worst enemies sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's like,
we try to be.
Yeah.
I feel like they, and it might be a stretch, but I feel like that was the ultimate goal from the others. I feel like, and we just play into it every chance that we get, and I can't stand it. I just can't stand it.
And going back to like working jobs and stuff, you will have like the black manager that's so afraid to tell their friends about a job because
crabs in a barrel.
And then I've also had an experience where I had a black manager. And he hired ethnic people. He had a couple of, white people there. And it was like a third shift job. And, sometimes other races white people, they have more opportunities than other races, right? So they might not have to work the third shift. And if you work it, you might work it for 2 weeks because, my friend's mom or my dad's, co-worker found me a job X, Y, and Z. And there's nothing wrong with knowing people. I've gotten jobs by knowing people, right? But I've also had to work the shitty hours too. I was not afforded those opportunities. So what he started doing, he was like, okay, well, whoever wants a job. And the people that wanted jobs were ethnic. They came to him and told him he was hiring too many ethnic people. Now, I also have worked at a job where I was the only black female. And the other than me, it was only one other black guy and then 2 Hispanics. It was nothing wrong with that. But then he said, okay, well, I'm going to start hiring more white people. And guess what they were doing? Quitting. So it's like on his defense, he was trying to help us out. But when he tried to help us out, then they actually took hiring rights from him because of it. But they don't do that when it's not us. And so then it's like we're afraid to say that because now I got to get my rights taken away. I got to get my job taken away because I wanted to help Jessica.
Yeah. You see, I posted on my story the other day, say, hey, you looking for a work from home job? Like I'm telling people left and right, even.
But don't put my name down because I don't know you like that.
No, for sure. It was only a couple people where I was like, this is my employee ID to put down for their reference. But because I know them. The other people, not so much because guess who the first person to reach out was? Somebody we met at the garden.
I wasn't there, guys. So after this, y'all will have to tell me because I was not there.
That was
And
the
we don't
first
name
person.
names.
Oh,
That was
yo.
the first person in my inbox, and I said, "Wow."
I'm over here like, I don't remember nothing about them wings. What?
Them wings fine.
Them
Go to the
wings
garden and
definitely
get some wings and
fine.
put
Okay.
Dallas.
I think it's also interesting when white people finally realize you black.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Because we
outside of
work
work.
from home. Oh.
No, I'm saying like at work.
You work from home.
Yeah.
At work, like when I waited tables and we talked about Middle Tennessee, West Tennessee, I went to nursing school in East Tennessee. Okay.
Oh.
I
thought you was a white
past
girl.
Knoxville. I went further than Knoxville, okay? And I waited tables, and I think it was one black server. He was a guy, a mixed girl, and most of the kitchen staff was Hispanic. But yeah, I'm in nursing school. She's got a great head on her shoulder. She's in nursing school. She waiting these tables. We would go out for drinks after work. And I remember one night specifically, like, Planes came on. Was it Planes, J. Cole and Jeremiah? Is that the name of the song? I'm like singing it, rapping it. And when it went off, one of the white guys was like, they would call me by my last name. Nobody ever calls me by my first name. One of the white guys was like, Grimes just got ghetto. And I was like,
I would
you
have shown
not
him right in
seen
that
it yet.
moment.
Because
Oh
what
my
just
God.
happened here? It's J. Cole of all people, first of all.
exactly.
But when
You want to
Right.
talk about rap, J. Cole
That
ain't
had to
nothing
be
ghetto
Tennessee
about it.
because when you go to Nashville, they know the words better than me.
Right.
They
They're
do.
here.
There were,
Like you
no, there
start
were
rapping
other
some
white,
Keith
some of
Lock
the
or
white
something.
girls would rap with me. Like they know him, Kendrick. So those two were like,
It's the G
them
word.
them the homies, you know.
the
But
G word
he
for
was
me.
like, and I was like, oh, okay.
Tell
So
me I'm turned up. But God,
after I got home and like moved back home and like some of them would follow me on Facebook and stuff, I've noticed over the years I've removed friends. 'Cause I'm like, y'all didn't realize I was actually black.
Yeah.
Like I think y'all got used to me conforming, and when I got home, because I'm in nursing school, like I went to a liberal arts Christian school, so yeah, like I only got to live on my own because I was over 23 years old when I went back to school. So otherwise, I would have to live on campus. They didn't drink, they didn't allow sex, any of that.
And they
Which
be
I
doing all that.
right, which I was doing all of that in nursing school. So like they didn't know that. But I had to get home and finally be like, all right, well, I'm
Get
home
the
again.
bail.
So they on social media like, wait, she go to the club? She do this? She do that? I don't think I'm friends with any of them anymore. Because it's
they
like,
probably
y'all
still
actually,
praying for you.
y'all
Okay.
realize? Well, I didn't talk to anybody from school, but I just mean my coworkers outside of school. I
Mine
think
loved it.
they all realized
Mine-
like she's
Mine loved it because I think when I'm in the work setting, I am so like boundaries. These are the boundaries, and this is the only version of me you're gonna see.
Right.
Yeah.
So in education, we do happy hours on Friday. Like this, just like ritual, and they love Mexican. So we do happy hours on Friday. We go to the Mexican restaurant, and we finna turn up. That one Friday, that we got a little turn, and we ended up at the club in Limelight.
oh,
At
You took them
Limelight.
to Limelight?
I took them to Limelight,
white
baby.
people to Limelight.
I took them it was white people. It was some
R.I.P.
other black people too, but it was some white people. When I tell y'all, I don't think they ever looked at me the same.
It's like
R.I.P.
We about to sit down and have a
Limelight.
whole soul food dinner, and then we're finna turn up after
The
that.
4 for
they
4.
looking like,
Okay.
what? Who is this person? I still talk to two of the girls, like, and they cool. Even when the whole 2020 fiasco, they reached out, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you, but the rest of them, good as gone.
I would say my white friends from back home, they for sure, because they from back home, I guess,
Right.
but they for sure.
Because white people from Memphis
You
is a
got
little
some
different.
They
white
for
people that
sure,
get
but
it.
see, you
Yeah.
know, I went to Germantown, so it was a very diverse school, and I played volleyball, so it was
I
like
played volleyball too.
it
to
was
get
like
an A in
5
biology.
it was like 5 of us on the team.
They play volleyball to get an A in biology.
Biology,
the coach was the
taught
teacher.
biology.
Oh, I was like,
You know, all the coaches be teaching some shit.
that don't even make sense. I
My
forgot.
basketball
High school was
coach
so long
taught-
ago,
I
y'all.
understood
what you
my
meant.
High school,
biology.
I don't.
Don't
Y'all
ask
know
me
I'm
none.
old. I'm the oldest one over here. I ain't
But
been in
girl,
high
you
school in a minute.
Barely older than us.
I'm like, come on now.
My volleyball teacher was the gym teacher. She knew her strengths, and teaching was not her ministry. So,
Lord.
but yes, no, like they know for sure. Like even my favorite, she invited me home for her wedding. I went home for her husband's wedding. I've known them since I think like 8th grade. But when I tell you, I think they might be blacker than me because like they was rapping stuff. And I was like, huh? I didn't know a lot of those because y'all know the type of rap I listen to.
Right.
But I listened to
Shoot should kill you.
It was not J.
Bush your
Cole.
head.
I ain't gonna promise
I
you.
listen to J. Cole too.
But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
But yes, no,
Burning.
they knew all the words to all them Drake songs, and I was like, chorus. That was me. I was on the chorus, real tough. But they know that I'm black. Like they don't ever put me in a position
Drake
to make me
definitely
feel
not the black
uncomfortable.
barometer.
No.
Not.
It's
at all.
not.
White folks know his music.
It's not, but you know, his daddy from Memphis, so I guess that makes them feel. Anyway, but no, they never make me feel uncomfortable or put me in a situation where it makes me know that I'm the only one that's black that's in this group.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that's
do
all we
appreciate
want.
that.
And
That's
I
all
think
we
that
want.
that is a really good like closing up, because we don't want for others or white people to feel that in every space, like we feel this like there are some that make sure that spaces are welcoming, that speak up, continue to check your people. I know the holiday's over, but continue to check them.
Yes. So I know we took over what Tay got to say.
Girl, it already happened.
So we was like,
she started it, y'all.
So
She did. Okay.
I did, and I was like, ooh. And
No,
I
you
tried.
weren't.
I tried
She
to
was
bring
not
it
like
back.
oop, y'all. Y'all see the video right
I
here.
tried
Y'all
to
did not
bring-
see her oop.
Y'all didn't. She ain't do
I
nothing
did. I was trying to, but you kind of piggybacked off it, and then so I had to throw it away.
it was gone.
It was gone, and I said I wasn't gonna do that. My bad, Tay.
She don't mean it, y'all.
I really do. I really do. That's why y'all see I started stuttering on that part, because I was like, shit.
Go ahead.
That
Close
was
us out,
good,
sister.
but
Sister Morris.
I was gonna say, wait a
Oh.
minute, address me properly.
Okay.
Legit Morris.
Okay.
You
still
still got one
Eminem.
name on
I
one
still-
thing, and
right.
You ain't got all your documents.
I ain't got
Okay.
You still
Mary
Morris.
Majette Morris.
I'm undocumented in some cases. Yeah.
My God.
Close it.
Okay, all right. I'll get myself the bill. So, my takeaway from this episode is it's okay to code switch, but also be true to yourself. It's okay to let people know who you are authentically. Words are hard again today. But when you're in a professional setting, set boundaries, as Tay mentioned. When you go out, it's okay to let your guard down, but you also need to know that, one, of course, you're going to be looked at. We're always going to be judged. But as Jess said, in some settings, it's okay to let your friends know. We don't always think that white people are, our enemy. Like, we need to come together. We need to know it's okay to be together professionally or in an outing. Just make sure that we're doing things that are going to be mentally and emotionally beneficial for us. So with that being said, always remember, keep it cute, but never put it on mute.
And that's how you stay pretty vocal.